welcome back to episode 5 of 31 Days of Samhain. Today we'll be covering the Witch's New Year and Samhain celebration, as it is our grand finale for the 31 Days of Samhain of 2018. Today's episode of 31 Days of Samhain is brought to you by DragonFaether Crafts, my Etsy store online where I sell handmade books, wands, magical items, jewelry, and crystals, as well as much more. Guess what, clan fam? DragonFaether Crafts is having a end of the month sale from now until November 3rd. You can get items off in my Etsy store, DragonFaether Crafts, some up to 30% off. So keep an eye out and go check it out if you are interested in getting your very own magical handmade item or crystals. So we have items from the previous episodes that we've made, like this rose besom, as well as a protection charm jar. So go ahead and check it out if you are interested. We also got some fresh new peacock ore per popular demand for you guys out there. And this is the perfect stone for this shadowy season, since it is the stone of happiness, upliftment, and pure joy. So keep yourself safe with this protection charm jar, sweep out the bullshit with a besom, or bring some joy into your life with a rainbow illuminescent peacock rock. All the information will be linked down below for you, and I can't wait to help you out. Go pick up your very own peacock ore for this spooky season, as well as some many other things that you can find within my shop. This is the show that is created by Hatchlings for the Hatchlings to learn, grow, and discover more about the season of autumn and Samhain together. For each day covered, a Hatchling has created a blog post within the Hatchling clan Amino that goes more in depth on their topic, as well as provides a challenge for you to try in correspondence with the day's topic. The Witch's New Year is fastly approaching us, and now it is time to celebrate the season of autumn and Samhain. For day 29, we will be covering Samhain throughout cultures all over the world and how the dead is celebrated, not only in your culture where you live, but in other ones around the world. Our special guest will be Lagertha Scarlet, here to tell us a little bit more about celebrating Samhain throughout different cultures around the world. So merry meet and welcome Lagertha Scarlet.
Merry meet. My name is Lagertha Scarlet, and I'm here to talk to you about my contribution to the final week of 31 Days of Samhain. For the final week of 31 Days of Samhain, I've created a challenge that will explore Samhain traditions across the world. Some of these will be part of different Wiccan or witchcraft traditions, and some of them will discuss other types of cultural holidays that represent similar themes as the Samhain Sabbath, however, may be called different things. So during this challenge, you will learn about these worldwide traditions and be challenged to incorporate some of these traditions into your Samhain celebration as well. A lot of discussion will be provided about cultural appropriation and properly educating yourself about a culture's tradition and their beliefs about outsiders incorporating these traditions before any incorporation of practices is included. So I hope to see you over in the Hatchling clan for you to try out our worldwide Samhain challenge for 31 Days of Samhain. And if you have any opinions about the ways in which these cultural traditions were represented, or if you have a cultural tradition that you would like to share, please head on over to the challenge post in the Hatchling clan and comment with your views.
Thank you so much, Lagertha, for teaching us a little bit more about that. Day 30, brought to you by Fire Queen and Phoenix Brevitas. We have a special New Year's reading for the Witch's New Year. This is a reading for you to kind of get in touch to see what the new year has in store for us, as well as maybe some guidance for you in the new year to come. For those of you who do not know, Samhain, or October 31st to November 1st, is known as the Witch's New Year, or the Celtic New Year. And for this reason, we wanted to give you guys a little bit of a New Year's reading. Our special guest for today is Phoenix Brevitas, here providing a reading for us. So merry meet and welcome, Phoenix Brevitas.
Hello everyone, my name is Phoenix Brevitas, and this is the reading that I'm doing for everyone this year. So for the Empress card, it's pretty simple. Upright means love, beauty, happiness, desire, pleasure, and comfort. For this card, we're going to focus on happiness, desire, and comfort. This card, when reading, you know, it serves as a reminder of the life around you and whether or not you're happy with it. And this is just telling you that you probably learned something that you were not happy with and you decided to make a correction, a change. So when talking about the Five of Pentacles, what must we learn? Poverty, fear, anxiety, and loss. It does not talk about money when it comes to poverty, but that of the spirit. You know, we need to focus on ourselves, you know, focus on more on what we want spiritually rather than physically or whatnot. So maybe, you know, focusing on nourishing your soul with music, dance, and art, that sort of thing. So for the Hierophant card, it's a bit unclear. Reversed is criticism, fear, guilt, and shame. In the context of this card, we are learning, what are we learning right now? I think this is a card that it's going to take very personal to you. So I suggest doing the reading yourself. So then you can get a more clear picture of what's going on. And now here we have the Seven of Wands and the Three of Swords. For this one, the interpretation is a bit, I would feel, personal as well. Not like the Hierophant where you need to do this reading yourself, but this one, you gotta take it into your own context. The Seven of Wands is the fourth card that you will be reading, and in this one it is what needs changing. And I think in this case we need to rethink ourselves. Maybe we're just not well built to handle those things that come into our life, that are coming into our life. So maybe looking into that, doing your own readings, doing that own thing, you know, take it into your own context. In the Three of Swords, the interpretation of this card is a bit worrisome in my opinion. It does speak of the death of a dream, the bittersweet ending of a broken relationship, and stuff like that. Broken trust, and if the card is even reversed, the pain isn't lessened, but it does hint at the acceptance of a new normal. I believe that that the next year in front of us, it's going to be difficult, it's going to be hard, which I think is why the cards before came to us. Try to give us an idea of what it is that we need to do for ourselves and how it is that we can get through it. The fifth card in this is what will help me, and I think knowing this information is what's going to help us the most. In this case, for the last card, what is in our way, the card that showed up is the Nine of Wands. In this deck, the interpretation is about the moon and how it's in a constant state of flux, and with a glance she can compel the tides to rise and fall in the blink of an eye. She can calm the water or send waves crushing over shorelines. Until you understand her moods, it's best to sit quietly and wait to see what the tide will bring in. And in this case, upright is deliberation, discipline, reason, recovery, reverse, adversity, calamity, confusion, recklessness. I believe what this is saying is that there are some things in ourselves that we can control, but we cannot control what is outside of ourselves. And that's why I think it's important for this year we focus more on ourselves rather than each other and what's going on in the world. There's too much focus on, you know, other people. You know, you see that with social media, and you see how people these days care more about what others are thinking than what you yourself are thinking. So take this year to just focus on yourself, strengthen yourself, and kind of nourish yourself too. And while you may have things that are coming your way that are just hard to accept, just stick on. You'll get through it. And try and... Hello everyone, my name is Brevitas, and this is the reading that I'm doing for everyone this year. So for the Empress card, it's pretty simple. Upright means love, beauty, happiness, desire, pleasure, and comfort. For this card, we're going to focus on happiness, desire, and comfort. This card, when reading, it serves as a reminder of the life around you and whether or not you're happy with it. And this is just telling you that you probably learned something that you were not happy with and you decided to make a correction, a change. So when talking about the Five of Pentacles, what must we learn? Poverty, fear, anxiety, and loss. It does not talk about money when it comes to poverty, but that of the spirit. We need to focus on ourselves and focus more on what we want spiritually rather than physically or whatnot. So maybe focusing on nourishing your soul with music, dance, and art, that sort of thing. So for the Hierophant card, it's a bit unclear. Reversed is criticism, fear, guilt, and shame. In the context of this card, we are learning, what are we learning right now? I think this is a card that is going to take very personal to you. So I suggest doing the reading yourself. So then you can get a more clear picture of what's going on. And now here we have the Seven of Wands and the Three of Swords. For this one, the interpretation is a bit, I would feel, personal as well. Not like the Hierophant where you need to do this reading yourself, but this one, you gotta take it into your own context. The Seven of Wands is the fourth card that you will be reading, and in this one it is what needs changing. And I think in this case we need to rethink ourselves. Maybe we're just not well built to handle those things that come into our life, that are coming into our life. So looking into that, doing your own readings, doing your own thing, take it into your own context. In the Three of Swords, the interpretation of this card is a bit worrisome in my opinion. It does speak of the death of a dream, the bittersweet ending of a broken relationship, and stuff like that. Broken trust, and if the card is even reversed, the pain isn't lessened, but it does hint at the acceptance of a new normal. I believe that the next year in front of us, it's going to be difficult, it's going to be hard, which I think is why the cards before came to us. Try to give us an idea of what it is that we need to do for ourselves and how it is that we can get through it. The fifth card in this is what will help me, and I think knowing this information is what's going to help us the most. In this case, for the last card, what is in our way? The card I showed up is the Nine of Wands. In this deck, the interpretation is about the moon and how it's in a constant state of flux. And with a glance, she can compel the tides to rise and fall in the blink of an eye, and she can calm the water to send waves crushing over shorelines. Until you understand her needs, it's best to sit quietly and wait to see what the tide will bring in. And in this case, upright is deliberation, discipline, reason, recovery, reverse, adversity, calamity, confusion, recklessness. I believe what this is saying is that there are some things in ourselves that we can control, but we cannot control what is outside of ourselves. And that's why I think it's important for this year we focus more on ourselves rather than each other and what's going on in the world. There's too much focus on, other people. You see that with social media. You see how people these days care more about what others are thinking than what you yourself are thinking. So take this year to just focus on yourself, strengthen yourself, and kind of nourish yourself too. And while you may have things that are coming your way that are just hard to accept, just stick on. You'll get through it.
Thank you so much, Phoenix and Fire Queen, for creating this awesome blog post about the Witch's New Year, as well as providing a reading for the Hatchlings. So if you want to learn more about this reading or how to do one yourself, please click down below to the link in the Hatchling clan made by Fire Queen and Phoenix Brevitas. Lastly, for day 31 of the 31 days of Samhain, I will be covering Samhain celebration, and I will be teaching you guys how to have a Samhain ritual. Now, this can be done however you want. There are traditional ways of doing so, there are not so traditional ways of doing so, but here I'm just going to teach you a very basic way in order to celebrate the season of autumn and honor the dead and loved ones. In the previous episodes, we've covered quite a few things that you can incorporate within your seasonal celebration on Samhain the 31st. One of those things is leaving offerings for the dead. What you can do is you can either leave them in your windowsill, outside your front door, on your property. Make sure that you're leaving offerings for your dead. You can also leave offerings for wandering spirits if that is what makes you comfortable. If you want to just honor anyone passing through this year, it is 110% okay to do so. This is the season to really get connected with the other world. This is a great time for divination, so please cast a protective circle and call upon your past loved ones and do some divination and try and communicate with them if they have been gone for a while, or if they are recently deceased, or if they are your ancestors. You are also more than welcome to get in touch with your guardians and guides at this time. Now is the season to truly embrace death, and this can be very uncomfortable for many of us. During the season of Samhain, it's common to honor the dead in many ways, shapes, and forms, and we encourage you to even create your own way of honoring the dead and connecting with the other worlds during this time. You never know who you might meet, and you never know what wonderful magic you might discover, so it's always a good idea to keep an open mind and an open heart, but remember to stay protected during this time of year because of how many wandering spirits there are. No worries, but stay safe. Samhain is also a great time to perform rituals to rededicate yourself to your path, as it is the Witch's New Year, as well as to initiate yourself into the practice in general. Samhain is one of the greatest times to start your magical journey because of what a magical night it is. It is a great time to understand and fine-tune your ideals, your wonders, your passions and likings about witchcraft and magic, and apply it to a self-initiation ritual, for example. It's also a wonderful time to gather with family and friends and celebrate those who came before us, as well as the turning of the seasons, and to welcome the darker time of year that is ahead of us. This is a time to remember what we are grateful for, what we are thankful for as things begin to die around us. This can be a very emotional time, especially if we may have lost loved ones during this season. Please do remember that just because someone does leave this world doesn't mean they are gone forever. You can always connect with them, for they are always within your hearts, and as cheesy as that may sound, it is definitely true, and you can conjure those who you love and hold very closely to you if you simply choose to dare. Some witches may choose to practice what we call necromancy, and this is a great time for necromancy, that is for sure. We want to really invite them to come of their own will and to celebrate with us and to dance a lively, wonderful time. Something else that you can also do during this time of year is have a silent supper or a dumb supper, and what this is where you decide to have a meal. Maybe you cook your past loved ones' favorite things to eat. Perhaps they absolutely loved scalloped potatoes, or they enjoyed some sort of other feast. And this way you can present them with a plate of food at the dinner table, hold a seat open for them, sit down with them, stay quiet the whole time, and eat with them in silence and enjoy their space, enjoy their energy, and enjoy their presence once again. This season is truly the season to do whatever you want. It's truly the season to explore magic however you desire, and is definitely the season to honor and love and embrace death and darkness. As this is such a huge theme within Samhain, it is really important to understand that darkness cannot be had without light, and light cannot be had without darkness. And in our society today, the darker aspects of our world are very taboo and suppressed and ignored often. So we want to kind of challenge the status quo and encourage you to look into your darkness on the night of Samhain, and encourage you to call upon the dead, to honor them, to laugh with them, to eat with them, to celebrate with them, and to remember what you're most thankful for during this dark season and for the Witch's New Year. Decide to set goals for yourself within the new year ahead of us and really understand what you want out of this new year to come. While we go into the darker nights of the year, things will become slower, and as things die off, we prepare to sow our seeds in the springtime to come. Please keep in mind of all those things that you want to manifest in the next year to come. For example, last Samhain, I really wanted to move out by the end of this year, and here I am in my new home, and I couldn't be more grateful to be here. And this is something that I set my intentions for last Samhain, and I have manifested it before Samhain of this year. So this is merely one example of the things that you could try and accomplish. It's one of the best nights for spell work, one of the best nights for divination, especially when you're with your other spirit friends, your ancestors, your past loved ones, gods, goddesses, deities, and any in between. Learn more about how to perform your own ritual for Samhain, as well as a step-by-step guide to performing a ritual for Samhain, you can click down below to the post that I made within the Hatchling clan that covers everything you need to know about how to do your own ritual for Samhain and to honor the dead, start your own craft, as well as do some divination, cast some spells. All of the wonderful things will be linked in that post for you, and I hope that you thoroughly enjoy it and you can find some magic within it as well. Thank you so much for joining us for 31 Days of Samhain. I hope you enjoyed the finale, episode 5 of the Witch's New Year here for Samhain's celebration. If you have any questions or comments about Samhain, please leave them down below and I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as I can. Don't forget to check out the amazing blog posts made by any of the hatchlings throughout any of the episodes that we have put on for you, and please go show your support to those who have helped me create these videos, as I could not have done it without them. If you want to get involved with 31 Days of Samhain next year, please join the Hatchling clan and send send me a personal message asking how you can get involved in next year's 31 Days of Samhain production by the Hatchlings for the Hatchlings, just so you can enjoy, learn, and grow along this wonderful season that we call autumn and Samhain. I'd like to give a special thank you to my patrons, Lagertha, Scarlet, and Royland Navarro for sponsoring the channel. Thank you so much for all that you guys do to help make this content possible over on Patreon. I thoroughly appreciate all of your support, and please, if you would like to become a sponsor for the channel, don't forget to click the link down below or at the end of this video that you can go and find all that you need to know about becoming a sponsor for the channel. Until next time, stay geeky, cheeky, and freaky, little hatchlings. Blessed be and bye.